Hey everyone, Melanie Allen, Sapphire Ambassador. So excited to welcome Diamond Ambassador Kinleigh Severns. And I am so inspired by her. I've been watching her journey and I just could not wait. We've been watching her stories and I'm like, I am going to just reach out to her and see if she can just give us all her wisdom and her top tips tonight. And she was like, absolutely. So here we are. And I'm so excited for all of you that could be on tonight. And Kinleigh, I'm going to let you take it away. But first, I just wanted to start. We're going to make this a very casual, you guys, like Q&A style. And so we're going to start with this though. Just asking really, Kinleigh, more just sharing your journey, how you got started with Plexus. We'll just kind of start with that for the people that don't know your story.
Okay, perfect. So I started Plexus in May of 2022 for the products. Um, like most people, I just, didn't feel myself, blah, after the shutdown, COVID, all of that. I just wanted to feel better. I wanted to lose a little bit of weight. I kept seeing this, one of my clients, Demi, I'm a hairstylist, by the way. I kept seeing her post this pink drink, and I was like, okay, that sounds too good to be true. And I was one of those people, that we always are like, ugh, that kept coming to her and then being like, never mind. And then coming back and then never mind. I did not make it easy, you guys. So remember that. Remember that a sale that's not easy could end up being your next diamond.
Yeah.
Um, she actually ended up doing a giveaway and for a triplex system, and I actually won that. And that's how I got my first triplex system. I think she knew what she was doing. I always tell her, I'm like, I feel like you set that up on purpose. She's like, no, it was fair and square. I'm like, okay. But and then from there, she was just kind of like, I really think you should refer and I think you should blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I really don't have time. I work 60 hours a week doing hair. I have two kids. Like, there's just no way I could fit that into my life. Like, absolutely not. And she was like, okay, I think it's a missed opportunity. If you don't, I think you're going to regret it. And it was just kind of like, all right, fine. Like Josh was like, if you love the products, and you can get them paid for, just refer some people. Like, no big deal. Right. So it started like a very casual journey for me. Like, I think it took me, I think I wasn't even a fast start for all the fast starts. Like, I think it took me a year, almost a year to get to senior Ruby.
Hmm.
So I think sometimes people think my journey was like super, super fast.
Mm-hmm.
My journey from Emerald to Diamond was fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I went senior Ruby in, I don't know what month it was, but about a year in. And then, because I went to my first convention in Nashville and I was a senior Ruby, and I remember sitting there. That was in June. And I remember like seeing everyone on stage. I remember seeing like the secret jewel room and like all, and I was like, okay, they have like food and music and stuff. I
Yeah.
want to be in there. I was so jealous. I would like, that's the kind of stuff for me. Yes, I want to make money. Yes, I love, all that. But like those little perks were like something I was like, I'm gonna have that next year. I am not coming back to convention without sitting in the diamond seats, sitting, you know what I mean? So it was like when I come back to convention next year, I'm gonna be a diamond. Like I made it my life's goal. And when I set a goal, that's just who I am. I just make sure it happens. So um, then July, I went to Silver Stars, and I feel like Silver Stars needs to be talked about more. I don't know how many people on like your guys' team have gone to it, but I earned Silver Stars. I didn't even know what it was when I got the call. I thought it was like a spam call. And they were like, you earned this trip. We're going to pay for you and a guest to come out to corporate and do this, that, and the other. And my upline, my diamond upline at the time, Jen, um, I say at the time because now Demi is my direct upline and she's a diamond too. But she was like, oh my gosh, that was one of my favorite trips, like one of the best Plexus trips I've ever been on. And I was like, okay, this is so exciting. So my husband and I went, and that was the month I went Emerald. So it was July of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I told Gene and Alec, we sat and had lunch with them and stuff because it's like, you guys, it's the coolest experience. If you can get silver stars, which to get silver stars, you just create silvers, have your silvers create silvers, have all, have as many people. I don't know what level it goes down to. You'd have to look up the rules, but create as many silvers and above as possible, and you'll be a candidate to earn it. And I remember sitting there and being like, we all introduced ourselves, said a little bit about our journey, and I was like, I'm a senior Ruby, but I'm gonna hit Emerald this month. And it was like the 20 something of the month. And I had been, trying to hit Emerald that month anyways. But I was like, if I don't hit it now, I have to hit it. It was like that extra like push for me to be like, okay, I told the freaking founder and CEO that I'm gonna hit it, so I'm gonna do it. So I hit July 31st. Demi and I both, my sponsor and I both hit Emerald that last day of that month in July.
Mm-hmm.
And then I skipped a month, and then I went Sapphire in September. And that was I always end up like ranking a big rank the month of a trip because I use trips to my advantage, you guys. Yes, I'm there and I have fun, but I vision cast, I get a lot of content. I work really hard on my trips. It's time that I don't have to work. It's time that I have to myself. I work really hard on trips. So I went, yeah, that trip to Arizona, I went Emerald. When I went Sapphire, we were in Mayakoba, or at Mayaco,
Mhm.
but yeah, in Mexico,
Mhm.
which I love, one of my favorite trips. And then when I went, so fast forward to February of 2024, that's when I hit Diamond, and that was the month of Punta Cana, which was Leaders
Oh,
Retreat.
yeah.
So every time I hit like a big jewel rank, it's been the month of a trip, which I love. Um, so I have maintained Diamond 2 since then. I have not ever fallen back. I've grown from there. Were some months really hard to re-rank? Absolutely. Is it still a push? Absolutely. But that is kind of my journey from start to now
Mhm.
that I can think of.
That's awesome. And don't you have, did you say you have 4 jewels under you as well?
I do. I have 4 level 1 emeralds. So I have the month I hit diamond, my first emerald hit emerald with me that month. So Deanna and I hit together, which was really special. And then so it went Deanna and I hit in February. So I went diamond, she went emerald. March, Ashley went emerald. April, Gabby went emerald. And then oh, Hillary, don't kill me. I think September, August or September, Hillary hit emerald. September there, she
September.
said
Oh,
it.
she's
Okay.
on.
She's
Hey,
on.
Hillary,
My
congratulations.
girls are all on. Yeah, I thought it was September. So Hillary hit emerald in September and she's my 4th star. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
What an inspiration. So tell me this, how did you cast vision to build your jewel legs? Because y'all were moving quick. I mean, that's a quick journey.
Yeah, yeah. Hillary was my fastest from start because she just started selling in January and hit in September. She was definitely my fastest jewel that I've had.
Mhm.
Um, they could probably elaborate on this a little bit more as an outsider's perspective, but for
Yeah.
me, I'm very, very upfront and honest. Like I tell people, if you want to be a jewel in this company, like it does take sacrifice. Like if
Mhm.
you're not willing, it's a job. Like at the end of the day, it's a job, but
It
it's the
is.
most rewarding, fun, amazing job. You can travel, you can do so much, but you have to show up every day. You
Mhm.
don't get days off. We don't take I don't take weekends off. I don't but I spend time with my family all the time, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's like I just make it very clear what it will take to become a jewel.
Mhm.
And if they're willing to put that in, and they're willing to be coachable, show up and stay consistent, that I will help them get there.
Mhm.
It's like it sounds so simple, I know, but it's like pulling teeth. I'm sure you guys know this sometimes with people to get them to show up consistently. And all 4 of my jewels show up consistently. That's why they're jewels. So
Mhm.
I tell people, I'm like, there is nothing wrong. I have people on, I have other tons of other legs that just want to be gold or senior gold. And I love that. I
Yeah.
think that's great. They're not willing to sacrifice certain things in life and they love their full-time job. And by the way, all of my jewels have full-time jobs. So
That's
it can
impressive.
be done. It can be done. I still work, I still do hair. I do it way less because I'm able to, which is amazing. I've cut back. I was working 60 hours a week doing hair while I built to diamond. And I now work maybe 30. It's
Mhm.
awesome. So
But you still work. I mean, that's still impressive though, because you're still making that diamond income while working full time. So
yeah.
that's amazing. Okay, so I have another, let's see, I'm just going through the questions here. So, okay, this is from a hairstylist. From a hairstylist position, how is Plexus brought up with your clients without sounding pushy? This is
Oh, I
coming
love that.
from an actual hairstylist that
That's a
wanted to,
really good one. So,
yeah.
first and foremost, I just want to tell you that hairstylists make extremely good, like, people to sell plexus. Like they are like I have a team full of them. My first emerald, Deanna, we met in cosmetology school. Like she does hair too.
Mhm.
And I have quite and Hillary and I went to cosmetology school together. She doesn't do hair anymore. But anyway, that's besides the point. For me personally, like for a little while in the beginning, I remember being really nervous in person. If people would be like, so what is this plexus thing I see you posting about? I'm like, it's just like a gut health thing. I don't know. It's just like a thing. And
Yeah.
I'd get like weird. I'd get really uncomfortable and be like, I'd feel like this pressure of like, what if I don't know the science and I don't know that because I'm not the big sciencey person behind this, right? I'm more of the like, I wanted to feel good. I don't care what's in it. I'm glad it's all natural. I'm glad
Yeah.
it's great, but like that didn't bother me.
Mhm.
Um, so in the beginning, I remember being a little bit nervous, but now I'm like, my clients are so funny. They actually, I'm so like, and you can put like, if you're a hairstylist, and I don't know if this hairstylist has their own place. I have my own salon. I can do whatever I want. But like, if your owner of your salon would allow you to have some samples there, I always send people home that ask about it. By the end of it, I'm sending them home with like an active, a pink drink, and a hydrate. You know, just something. I always tell them it's just for taste. The active you'll feel, but the other two are just for taste. Like the benefits are going to come later, but I just get really excited and show my passion in person to them because it's easy to do because I love the products. They've genuinely changed my life. And I just try to really it's such a part of my life now that it comes up naturally in almost every conversation. So, and I'll even have clients text me and be like, "Hey, I really need to get in before this date. If I buy Plexus, will you get me in sooner?" I'm like, "Yeah, I will. I will." Yep. And
Sure
they know
will.
it. I sure will. You're going to reorder this month? Yep, sure will. So it's just like it's become this thing where like my clients know it, respect it, and I don't make them all take it. Like a lot of them don't.
No.
I would never force that. I give them the information, I tell them the truth. They do with that what they want. I've had a client that tried it and returned it in 15 days because the detox, she broke out, she couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
So it's just being really confident, I guess, in your posture and your delivery when you're in person and just be like, don't be like, do you want to buy some today? Just be like, if you want any samples, I'd be happy to send you home with some. And,
Mhm.
if you have any questions, let me know.
I love it. It's your confidence too that they're like,
Yes.
oh, it's huge. Okay, and then I'm curious, the next one was system to keep up with your customers, because I'm sure you have a wide customer base. So how do you handle retention and this just a system to keep up with your customers? Because I know, I mean, same for me. I'm very wide as well. So this is a great.
Yeah, this is something that I feel like I always hear like so many diamonds and stuff talk about like project broadcast, I think it's called, like different things like that. This is you have found my flaw. So my flaw, it's not keeping up with customers, it's doing it in an efficient way. Okay. So
Mhm.
like we on our team, like every person who signs someone up, like you're responsible for your level ones. You check in on them. I usually my system in my brain, I don't even write half this stuff down anymore. This is bad. But like I check in with them. I'm always like, I tell them everything about their subscription. I tell them about their perk credits. I tell them all the things that they need to know right after they order, so I don't forget. I send them if they're doing the triplex, and I send them a schedule, this and that, whatever. And I just tell them like, when you get your products in, shoot me a message.
Mhm.
And then if I see that they haven't messaged me and it's been a couple, a week or a little over a week, I'm like, I'm gonna message them and see if they've got their products. And then I message them every few days. And then it's like after that, I'm like, reach out if you need anything, once a month. If I see they turn their subscription off, obviously I reach out. I always check that every day. So
Mhm.
it's just my system's probably not the best, but I don't know. We all take our customer care very seriously on my team. Like we are, I mean, retention's retention. Like or attrition's attrition. It's gonna happen. Like it sucks. We all hate it. People have bills, they have this, they have the but
Mhm.
that is a huge, like, I honestly love when people tell me that they don't have the money for it because that gives me the perfect in to get them to, sell, refer, whatever you want to call it. I don't usually say like you should sell Plexus because that's like, whoa. I'm usually like, you have got to have like three friends, family members. You love the products. I know you've got three people that can do this with you. Like I know for a fact, and I'll help you. I will help you every step of the way. I will help you get the right products for them. I'll help you make the carts, all of that. So a little mixture of like, I think a big part of retention is getting people to duplicate and getting people to bring, because think of how much more committed we all are with our products when we sell. We stay consistent because we're selling something and we
Mhm.
know it works and it's good, but we have given it the consistency because we sell it, right? It, it
Right.
it makes you, and then you feel like you're kind of a little bit responsible for a couple other people, so you don't want to let them down. So I feel like even just getting as many of your people to build to silver gives them a taste of it, and they're like, well, that was kind of easy. $300, that's pretty freaking cool. So kind of a combo of all of that. I know that's kind of scatterbrained, but that's like how I work.
No, it actually so much wisdom in that because I do remember, I think I was actually Jordan Roddenberry, and it really resonated with me at Gold School. We were in Dallas. She was like, the best retention strategy is silvers. And I'm
Yep.
like, yes, it
I
is, because they're
love
getting a
Jordan.
paycheck.
Yes.
And and so I'm curious with this new plus one, it's probably going to be the same conversation, right? You're basically you have a new person start. How are you gonna onboard them? I'm curious. What does your onboarding look like? You kind of went over,
So
but just repetition's good.
right. So for the plus one, I think it's an even more casual approach because sometimes, like, they're like, for me being like, oh, can you grab three people? Is like, oh, yeah, easy peasy. But like, for some people, grabbing three people's not, right? So they have like maybe their best friend, their husband, their mom, their sister. They have that one person. So it's a lot more of just being like, okay, I think doing this with somebody else is really fun. It keeps you accountable. You guys can check in with each other. You can do it together. You can, take your measurements, do your weight, whatever the reason for coming is, right?
Mhm.
But do this with your person. Who is the person you go to dinner with? Who's the person you go to the movies with? Who is that person that you do life with? Like, let's get them to sign up. They're gonna get, the same combo as you or different. We can figure that out. They'll get the same deal, whatever the deal is that month. and you're going to make like 40 bucks off of them. So super easy. Who is your one person, you know?
Yep. I love it. So good. And then do you lead with the products or business? I'm just going off these questions here.
Um, you know, it depends. If I'm not like a huge cold messenger, I'm not against it. I actually think that there's a time and a place for it. And I always call it warm messaging because
Mhm.
it's like I try to create connections with people. Like I actually was just talking to a girl and sending voice messages. She finally bought last month. I've been talking to her since May. She's got
Mhm.
like severe Crohn's and she's been terrified to try it. And I have just built this like bond and relationship with her.
Yep.
She's hilarious. And the first time I reached out to her, I'd been friends with her for like a month on Facebook. We're just like friend. I don't know her. I've never met her in real life, but she's from this town. And she's so funny. And I messaged her and I was like, I just have to tell you that you literally are so hilarious. I don't know if you've ever thought about like social selling, network marketing, any of that, but you would freaking kill it because you're like your presence and your
Yeah.
energy is like contagious. And so that was like how our conversation started. And she didn't order until, like I said, last month.
Hmm.
And she's just started her pink drink today because she's been so nervous with her Crohn's. You know, she's just terrified. She's had a lot of health issues. And I was just like, listen, like everything you've done with medication has not worked, right? You've done a
Right.
year of steroids, you've done all this stuff. Try it out. You're already having all of this horrible stuff. Try it. It could help you, you know? So I actually, when I message people and they don't message me first, I actually usually lead with the business.
Okay. Love
I
it.
usually reach out to people who I think would be good at this and they maybe have a presence on social media. They get a lot of likes on their photos. They get, you know, like someone who seems comfortable posting every day already. That doesn't mean that the people that come to me, I don't approach them about the business because I always do. But if they come to me for the products, I don't go in about the business unless I need to. Me like I go in about the business after they buy
Hmm.
unless they give money as an excuse and then I'll throw the business in before they buy. So usually I wait until they buy and I'm like, again, give them the spiel about like it's going to run every month because I don't want to forget that. You know what it's like when you
Yeah.
forget to tell somebody they're going to
Oh,
have a subscription and they freak out.
the
Tell them,
worst.
yes, I tell them
It's
all
the
that.
worst.
I tell them they'll have cheaper shipping, they'll have perk credits, blah, blah, blah. Keep your subscription on. You can push it out, turn it off at any time, blah, blah, blah. I go
Yeah.
through all that so I don't forget. And then at the end of it, I'll be like, and also Plexus has an awesome referral program. If you grab 3 friends, family members, anybody to do this with you, you'll make some money from it. So if that interests you at all, I can send you some more information. And I kind of leave it at that, see
Hmm.
what they reply, and kind of feel their vibe from there.
Yeah. I love it. That's so good. And then I guess, yeah, we already answered that one. What about a cost objection? I feel like that's a common one. I had one of my team members was like, how do you handle the cost objection? I'm sure, I mean, like, okay, let's say, actually, Jennifer, are you on? Maybe you can ask her what you wanted to say. I think she was saying like they
Yeah,
go
I'm
through.
here.
Yeah, go ahead. Do you want to go ahead and share your question?
Sure. I think it's, I mean, I think we've all had the cost objection and I always go then into would you be open to letting me help you get your products paid for, like that kind of direction. But I just seem to struggle with getting people to like commit or being, I guess, willing to dive deeper into their budget and make it like a priority. So I don't know if there's any like magic words or phrases or anything that you use that kind of gets them thinking outside the box of, okay, is this something that I can fit into my budget or do I need to rearrange some things? Like be willing to make, I guess, that adjustment. I didn't know if you had any magic word.
I think honestly, everything you said is like super spot on with kind of how I handle it. Like I usually always just say like, listen, I totally get it. I didn't think $124 a month was in my budget, but if you really sit down and think about it, about what you spend on other things,
Hmm.
do you like the way you've been feeling? I'm sure their answer will be no, right?
Hmm.
Okay, if you want to change the way you've been feeling, you'll make the adjustments and you'll make it work in your budget. And I promise you, you guys, 95% of people can make it work in their budget. There are some few that really genuinely don't have the money, but I just tell them like, if your health is a priority and you want to I literally just, you get to a point where you're so, I used to be so scared to lose the sale in the
Right.
beginning. I used
Mhm.
to be so scared to lose the sale. I used to be like, they're going to freak out. And now I'm just like, listen, if you want to feel good, you make room in your budget. You have 60 days to get your money back. If you're so scared that like, you're going to waste money. I think people are scared they're going to waste money because it's not going to work.
Hmm.
I always say, you
Mhm.
have 60 days, you can get a full refund. I will even help you return it.
Hmm.
But I promise you, you'll never know if you don't try. And here's where this comes into, because sometimes you'll just have people that are like, I just can't, blah, 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 whatever.
Mhm.
So I'll kind of let them breathe for a little bit. And me posting every single day, I promise you, they always come back. So if you're messaging and I have some people on my team, they're like, oh, they're messaging animals. Okay, well, if you're not posting, you're not on your stories. And you guys, you can't just post a graphic and pray, right? You can't just post like, here's a triplex, here's what it comes with. Do you want to try this? Feel good. You have to literally create an entire like atmosphere on your page, right? Like if you see, like, I posted a video of my husband and I today doing like a little TikTok challenge or whatever. And like my kids are always on my stories, and like I talk about other stuff besides Plexus. I always say, like, be who you are and sprinkle Plexus in every day. And
Yes.
so those people that think it's not worth the cost, they're going to keep watching, I
Mhm.
promise, and they will come back. But you have to be there to have them see what you're doing.
I love that. It's so true.
Thank you.
Um,
Yeah.
Jen, did you have one more question you wanted to ask her? Was there something else?
Yes. I'll make me get out my own notes, 'cause now I can't remember. The fence, I think it was, I guess it's kind of along the same lines, is just, I've had a lot of fence sitters, people reach out to me, hey, what's this about? What's December specials? What's, all the things. I had a past customer like last month, I cleared out her old account because it had been 6 months and she had an order. She wanted to get the free reset, all the things. And it was like the entire month went by, and once I cleared her account, like she stopped responding to every message that I sent. So like, okay, you came back to me. So I don't know, again, it's just magic words or anything that you have in terms of like the fence sitters, like the people that come to you, they're all like interested, you give them all the info, and then it's like, you never hear back from them. Like, so it might
So,
be along the lines, the same thing as before, but.
well, no, I get what you're saying. And it's funny because I have always been like someone who supports people in network marketing. Like, this is my first network marketing like thing I've done. I've never done another MLM, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And something I've noticed that I do is I do that to people. So what that person you're talking about, that type of person, I do it to other people. I still do it. I have a girl that's been trying to sell me, what is the olive oil
Oh yeah.
skincare? Okay.
Yeah.
And I absolutely want to try it. I do. And I just keep putting it off because I have other skincare that I need to use all of, right? And stuff like that. So it's like I'm doing to her. She's giving me all the information. She buys Plexus from me. Like it is literally I'm doing to her what these people are doing to us. So as a consumer that is a hole that's done that and still does that, I don't mean to. I'm very busy. I'm very like scatterbrained. And
Yeah.
so a lot of times I think just checking back in with them. I don't really have any shame when it comes to that. Like if you came to okay, this is my motto. If I cold message somebody and they don't respond to me, I'm not gonna message them again. That's my personal opinion. I think you like they if they have interest, they'll come to me after that. But if somebody came to me and showed interest at any point, you're fair game until you tell me to F off. And literally, I've never had anybody be mean and block me. I've never had anybody do that. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm sure one day it will. But if you came to me and you showed interest at some point, it means you genuinely wanted to try these. So I will just check back in. Usually ends up being once a month, couple times a month, depending on the person and where the conversation left. But I'll just check back in and be like, hey, let them know what the deal is for the month, or I'll be like, I free shipping today and I'll pay for their shipping. Like whatever the case may be, I'll find a way to message them and just be like, if you're still thinking about it, today's free shipping, let me know, just a reason to pop back in there and say
Okay.
something, you know?
Another thing I do a lot that I feel like is helpful is I'll be like, especially say it's migraines, I'm just making something up, but I will circle back around and be like, hey girl, you're on my heart today. I just saw this testimony on migraines. I want to just circle back around and show it to it's just like dripping belief,
Yes, I
right?
love
Like
that.
dripping information. I've done that. And I feel like it's a gentle approach to remind them, what you talked about and how you can solve their problem. And
Yeah, I
that's
love
helped
that.
me close so many people. And it may not be right then, but I planted a seed, right? We know that they don't always order right away. So that's just a little thing that I do. One other question I have is how do you get your leaders to take extreme ownership of their business?
Um,
Not be hobbyists, but actually builders.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think vision casting.
Okay.
I think that my husband is so funny because every time I go on a trip, he's like, why would packaging a box at corporate? Why would that grow your business? Like he genuinely is like confused about it. And I'm like, I know that seems so silly. Like me
Mhm.
packaging a box with Gene and Alec there and me doing this and that. Like I know that seems to you like it's not something people would get a vision for. But my team, the fire that my team felt after I had that trip to corporate a couple months ago by myself, like when I went with a few other diamonds,
Oh,
um,
yes.
was so awesome. And I got so much content. And obviously my girls were already on fire before that. But I think those moments that you can get content and vision cast and tell them what, like, listen, here's what I made this month. Like I made this much money this month. Do you want that to be your life? Like it
Yeah.
it's just my jewels are just in. They're just freaking in. They
Yeah.
want it. They see the vision. They're now getting like their teammates sometimes isn't, oh, not everybody's going to show up every day, but I just go to them and ask them like, what do you want from this? What is your why? What is your goal? What do you want from this? Do you want this to be a hobby? Do you want this to be a side gig, or do you want more from it? Like
Mm.
I genuinely have to figure out, like, do you want to be a jewel or not? If you want to be a jewel, it's a whole different level than being a gold, senior gold, ruby. I think when you get into senior ruby territory, you got usually have a little bit of a team that you need to, you know what I mean? But if you want to be higher up in this company, you have to take ownership. You have to show up because, again, what my leaders always said to me, speed of the leader, speed of the team. Like that has stuck in my brain. It's such an easy phrase to say. It's like so, and it has always stuck in my brain. Like if I'm not doing all the things, why would my team do all? So I show up every day. The
Mhm.
moment I decided to do this business, I was probably like fully did this business. Um, I was probably I was probably a gold when I decided to be all in. And I have not ever not shown up. I can't imagine not messaging back my sponsor. I can't imagine not messaging back my team members. I can't imagine not showing up every single day. I would never do that. Not
Mhm.
in a, I wouldn't I don't ask anyone on my team to do something I don't do ever.
I love it. Tell us a little bit about your corporate experience when you just went recently with all the other diamonds that were there, and what was that like? That might be
Um
some vision casting for the people on the call
it
that
was like
about that.
the coolest thing that I have ever done in my life. So I just felt like, first of all, it was a little bit hard for me, like just being fully transparent because I'm a newer diamond, and I know you guys probably have seen who was there with me, right? Like we've got Brooke Hemingway, Melissa Eichenhorn, like it, Jordan Roddenberry, Marissa and I and Amber Miller. Oh my gosh, like these people, and Jordan's one of my idols. Like we've connected over this last year, and it's like I'm there with like some of these women who I've looked up to. Even Marissa is someone I've always looked up to, and I'm just like, I I feel like I don't belong almost. Like I felt like, oh my gosh, how am I here? Like it felt like a very big pinch me moment. And it
Mhm.
was really hard for me to like speak up sometimes because I was like super nervous and I didn't want to like look like an idiot. Like because I have my strengths, but my strengths are not like obviously not systems. And it's just I'm not going to be the smartest one in the room, and I know that. And it's not. I'm not saying I'm not smart. I have my smarts in certain ways, but it was like such an honor to just like even just sit there and like soak it in. And these women like were so kind to me, and like I felt like I got this amazing bond with them. We sat around the fire at night, like after our first day of meetings, and like just getting to know each and every one of them, and just like hearing each other's stories, and just how we're all just human, like
Mhm.
it's like it was one of the coolest experiences. And then obviously during the day when we're at the meeting, like we're in a room with like the top people, it's me and these amazing diamonds, and we're there with Blake and Gene and Alec and Chris Pike and Jory and Ashley and a couple other people, Jennifer and someone else. And they were amazing. It was just the coolest. I had somebody with a sign, holding a sign to pick me up at the airport. I felt so cool. Like, I felt like it was so freaking cool. I had this beautiful hotel room given to me. We went to dinner that night with Gene and Jory, and it was just like, they're so humble and they're so kind and they care so much, and they genuinely were like, we want to know what the field wants, we want to work with you guys. Like
Mhm.
from the sounds of it, again, I've only been here, not even 3 years, but from the sounds of it, from Melissa and Brooke, and it sounded like this was much more collaborative than even before. And so like it felt like they like listened more to us, I guess, than normal. I'd never been a part of something like this, so it was really cool to be a part of something. I feel like this a shift in the company that's happening in a
Mhm.
good way. And it's like I didn't even think the company needed a shift because I love it so much, but it was truly one of the best experiences of my life. Like there are so many things that are bucket list items I didn't know I had, you know, like speaking on stage at convention. Like I remember sitting in the crowd my first convention and being like, I want them to ask me to speak on stage next year. You know, like all of these little things that you like hope for, but you don't know could happen. I just made it a point to make it happen.
Oh, I love it. So inspiring. Okay, those are all the questions I have. So I'm going to open it up if you're okay with that for just a couple
Oh
more
yeah,
before we
absolutely.
go. Does anybody have anything they want to share or any questions that they have? Anybody on the call? I'm sure we got some, or even some tips from your jewels that are on. That would be good too. Like how she cast a vision for you guys to be jewels.
Yeah.
Anybody want to share?
Deanna, you want to
Deanna?
go? There she is.
Hey, Deanna.
She's got to get her
I'm
microphone
gonna
on.
just not to put you on the spot, but that's what jewels do. We always are on the spot. We figure
She's
it out.
fine.
Right? That's what jewels do.
Yeah, it's totally fine. So Kinleigh, I didn't realize I was watching her. She told me I'd messaged her before too, and I was like, I don't really think I did. She's like, but I kind of left you alone because I guess she doesn't really cold message people like too much, warm messaging. I watched her in, where were you? Convention in Vegas?
Nashville. Nashville.
And I told her I was going to be standing with her the next year. And that didn't mean as much to me as it meant to her. And I guess it gave her goosebumps and all the things, but I was like, I just think I'm going to do what you're doing because it looks great. And I didn't know how much money she made at the time. I didn't know. I mean, we talked, but she talked to me like I was her friend, and we are friends, but she still, just talked to me like I was a human. And that made it so much easier to, I don't know, want to jump in. And then after I had the products and I had all my issues and certain things were, fixed after just a few days, I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So then my husband was the same way, very supportive. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have a supportive husband. There's no way in the world could Kinleigh or I probably either ever no way we could not do this without our husbands. And thank God for that. But he was very supportive and said, well, if you're having these great benefits, why don't you just tell people about it? And we do have a hand up by being in this business. I don't have a problem talking about it in person to anyone. I will talk to the wall about these products. I don't care. And in person, it doesn't make me uncomfortable. I'm even more confident in person, I think. But Kinleigh, she's real. She shows it. She shows up every day on her stories. There's not one day that she doesn't post. There's not one day that she's not on her stories. She shows what's possible. And I think it's so important to show the heart of this company too, because whenever you know those owners and whenever you know Gene and Alec personally, and even Tarl, like they are genuinely good people and actually care about each and every single one of us and you and everybody watching. They care about all of you and they care about all of your people and they care about, they just are genuine people. So whenever you know the heart of this company, that is also I'll sell the business because of the owners all day long, because I'm obsessed with them, because they are just good humans. Kinleigh's laughing, probably I can't see her face, but she's laughing because she knows how much I love Alec.
He's
amazing though. He really
Yeah.
is. Like he is the heart of the company. I mean, he really is. Just if you're blessed, be a blessing. Like he has a quote, right? But it's so true.
We're getting it tattooed on our foreheads. Watch out.
I mean, it's just
Literally.
true. Like I
Yeah.
love it. I love Alec too. He's amazing. And also one thing I've loved, because I've been in the company 10 years, one thing I've always seen with Alec, he's really big about preaching balance, like don't make Plexus your whole life, but like make it part of your life, right? So I love that, because we can get so consumed because we get so excited and we want to work all the time, but there's also the balance with family, right? And all of
We're
that.
so consumed. How do you have balance? I told him that. I said I still don't.
We're like, sorry, Alec, we don't play by that. Yeah, we don't. We're not gonna lie. We don't have balance.
Maybe one day. I don't know. Not now.
Yeah. Love
We
it.
need
I
it, but
love
we
your
don't have
fire. That's amazing. You have any other jewels on? I think you had a couple on, didn't you?
Yeah, I see. I think all of my jewels are on.
Oh,
I can
anybody
Ashley,
else?
you were my second one to go jewel. You want to say a little something?
Might as well. This is like this little treat, having all your jewels on.
Come on, Ash. Oh, she'll take an hour to unmute. Oh, she turned her camera off. Oh, she's so cute, you guys. My jewels were all really smart. Ash, bottom left. Are you on your phone? Click your screen and it'll pop up.
I love
bless.
Real life.
She'll get it.
Oh man,
there she
here
goes.
we
She's so
go.
cute.
Well, you guys, I have orders going on right now too. So it's like I'm trying to be in everywhere, and Kinleigh will tell you, yeah, I don't have none of my stuff together ever.
She needs to take edge.
I do. I do need edge, and I'm not even lying. Man, I don't even know where to start with my story, you guys. It's a trip. So I'll be the first to tell you guys, Kinleigh started messaging me, and I'll be honest, I ghosted her. I did not want nothing to do with it. I did not want to go back into network marketing because I had been in it before. So I'm like, nope, don't want to, it's not going to work for me. And I'll be honest with you guys, it took her signing my sister to get me. My sister called me. I actually was at work. Me and my sister talked before I went into work, and I was like, do not sign. We'll talk about this when I get done with work. And she's like, okay. Well, I ended up getting off early. And she called me and she's like, hey, I signed up with Kinleigh. And I'm like, what? You guys, I messaged Kinleigh and said, I'll be at your house in 5 minutes. And I went straight to her house. And I told her, I was like, I'll come, but I want straight under you. And it's crazy to think because I grew up with a lot of people. I mean, not a lot, quite a few on her team, because a lot of us are in the same area. So, I mean, me and Deanna, we graduated the same year. She went to Morrisonville. I went to Kincaid. I know you guys probably don't know where those towns are, but we're like 10 minutes away. So I grew up with a lot of the people that are on Kinleigh's team, but I knew going into it, I wanted on Kinleigh's team because at the time, you guys remember, I didn't need it. I didn't want it, but I knew I knew which leader I wanted. And right off the bat, I mean, she vision casted so much for me. I was going into my son's senior year, right? Yeah. And so I didn't want to be missing football. I didn't want to be missing everything. And at the time, you guys, I was working 3 jobs. So I was just go, 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 burning the candle at both ends, you know? And when she vision casted for me and showed me like what we could do, I just never took no for an answer, you guys. Like, I mean, I remember the month I went Emerald. Kinleigh was sleeping and it was March 1st. And I remember this and I was like, I'm going to go Emerald. And there's a girl named Lizzie on Kinleigh's team. And I was like, I'm going to go Emerald. And she's like, have you talked to Kinleigh and them about this? I was like, no, not really, but it's okay. I was like, make me a graph and then they'll all read it when they get up in the morning. You guys, I blasted that. And then I was like, okay, now I got to go. I got to run. And that's what we did. I'm not going to tell you it was some pretty chaos because it wasn't. There was days I was on the floor about ready to throw up because I had no clue what to do. There was messages going everywhere. And you guys, I have ADD. I have ADHD. I mean, I could not keep nothing straight. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for this girl, I would not be the person I am now. I mean, I love Kinleigh.
You're gonna make me cry.
I know. That's why I was like trying to hold back because I'm like, I'm not going to get into my story, you know, but you guys, it really does. Like her vision casting, her showing up to us every day. Like, I can tell you right now, I can have every excuse in the book. She doesn't care about them. And she'll tell me that. She'll be like, Ashley, I don't care that you're working 16 hours. I don't care that you don't have your phone. I want you to get off in the morning when you get off of your 16 hours, even though you have not slept. And I need you to check in with everyone and post. And I'm like, okay, well, there goes my 4 hours of sleep because here we are. And I mean, you guys, there's days, and Kinleigh will back me. I'll go into a 16-hour shift with 0 sleep because guess what? I'm chasing. I want my team to want what I have, you know, and that's what you do. You got to vision cast and you got to keep vision casting, and you might hit bumps. You might hit roads. I mean, you guys, it's an up and down roller coaster, but I'm telling you, when you see that vision that you want, you don't stop. You don't stop.
All right. I think, first of all, I love you, Ashley. I think there's 2 more on here, but Gabby, kill me if I have her talk. Gabby, do you want to talk?
Okay, fine. I'll talk, but I can't show my face. Deal?
That's
Okay,
fair.
you don't have to show your face.
That's
and
fair.
this is like a surprise, so thank y'all for talking. You're so sweet.
Yes. Absolutely. Mine will probably be short and sweet. But the biggest thing was that daily communication with Kinleigh when we first got started. Kinleigh's done my hair for like, I don't even know, years since I was like in
15
high
years.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been insane. So we have definitely like grown up together over the years. And when she had me start, I was living very comfortably. She's like, hey, do you want to like earn some extra income? And I was like, no. And then she's like, well, what about these products? So that's why you always lead with the business and then go to the products, because then I definitely needed to get healthy. So I started the products, loved them, and then it was super easy to promote because of everything that they were doing for me. So then Kinleigh was like, okay, but maybe it's not about the money. Maybe it's about like having choices. And I was like, okay. And so I was very busy. I was in nurse practitioner school. I was in nurse practitioner school, working full time, 3 12s, also doing clinicals 3 8-hour days a week. It was insane, you guys. And so then I was like, I could have a slow life. Like I could just work part time and enjoy time with my family, basically do whatever the hell I want, go to Target on a Monday morning because I can while everybody's at work. Like that was what she vision casted that for me. And like being able to come down on work hours and all of that. So that is why. And let me tell you, I was that hard sale. Kinleigh tried for a long time. I mean, she got me selling, I was taking the products and everything, but like it, I ghosted her with the business for a long time, told her I didn't really want to do it, but I always told her to never give up on me. I'm like, I'm interested. My life is just crazy. I promise I'll be ready one day. And then finally that vision cast hit of like, my life can slow down. And that was it. That's what sold me. And the rest has been history.
I love
Aren't you so glad you listened to her?
Yes, thank goodness.
it.
I love that, Kinleigh. It was like you just didn't give up. You're like, this is how I can solve this problem for you.
Oh, I
Financially.
never give up on people. Never.
Yeah.
Unless they genuinely like are like, please don't, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they have to
I'm
give you a
not,
hard no.
I'm not a monster, but
Yeah.
I just don't give up on people.
But you use belief and passion, and I think that's contagious, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's huge for casting vision.
And
You
then
have
there's
one more on?
one more, my little
Okay.
Hillary.
Hillary, do you mind sharing?
Hi. I'm super sick, so sorry about all of this,
Oh yeah,
but
I forgot you're
Great.
sick. Sorry.
it's okay. Um, I was not a hard sell. Kinleigh, basically, I've known her most of my life. We went to the same high school. Um, and then we also went to cosmetology school together, and our girls are a year apart, just like her and I are. So she was talking about these products and how they could help you, so I immediately, like, her getting me to sell or to take the products was not difficult. I did not, however, have any interest in selling them. I told her I didn't have the kind of reach that she had or that somebody that was successful would have. And I watched her for like a year and a half live this amazing life and continue to talk about all the things. And I actually had to stop the products for a little bit because of health issues, and started them immediately when I was able to again. And my results were extremely mind blowing. Like, I within 3 months had basically minimalized all of the autoimmune issues that I was having and was off of all of my medication. So I wasn't really even looking at like my physical transformation. I was more thinking I felt good. And so I had taken a before and after because Kinleigh said you should take a picture before you start your products. So I just took an after picture one day and I was just like mind blown. And I sent it just to her because I was like, I am not sharing this with anyone. And she's like, you have to share it. And I was like, there is no way I'm putting this out into the world. And she's like, but think about how good you feel. And so I thought about it for a couple days and I was like, she's right. Like if she hadn't kept sharing, I wouldn't know about it. I wouldn't feel the way that I feel now. I just have to suck it up and put this nasty before picture on the internet, and because it could help somebody. So I said, I'll do it, but nothing is going to happen. You just watch. And then 8 months later, I was Emerald. But I
That's
feel
amazing.
like convention was huge, and seeing Kinleigh, especially on stage, because like I said, we grew up together. We're from the same town. We're the same age. Like we have very, a lot of similarities in life. And I sat there thinking, well, if she could do that, like, because I know, like, speaking on stage for her was not something that was easy. Like, she was in the back behind stage messaging us, like she was super nervous, and like even speaking on Zooms and stuff, like you get more comfortable, and that's something that she's grown into. And so like watching her, I was like, she's just like me. I mean, we are the same type of person, and if she can do it, then there's absolutely no reason why I can't be on that stage next year if I want to be. So, and I'm gonna be.
And
Go
you
ahead,
are.
fly.
Congratulations. So one question for you, and then we'll go. Is you built in what, in 8 months, then 9 months to Emerald?
Yeah.
So how did you build leaders so quickly to move that fast? Because that's quick.
It kind of I did go very quick in the beginning. I did all the fast. I think I hit gold in like 14 days, and I was senior gold. I started January 26th was the day I posted, and I was senior gold by the end of February. But I really didn't build a team until, I don't know, Kinleigh, like April. I had a couple people. But then after convention, I ended up getting somebody who had bought from me before, said that didn't work, left, and had been following. So like what Kinleigh said is they really always do come back if you're consistent. Now she started selling in July, and she's a senior Ruby.
It's amazing.
So she is amazing at getting business builders, and she kind of took off. So that propelled me a lot. But also the girls that I had before, I think it was just like us building this confidence together that we could actually do this. And my team structure is interesting. One of my legs is my my daughter's stepmom. It's my ex-husband's wife, but I love her to death. And so we've just like, I don't know, it's kind of the same thing I feel like with what I saw with Kinleigh on stage. Like, if you can do it, then I can do it. And like we're all here doing the same things. We're all moms, we all have jobs. We all want better for ourselves. We all want choices and freedom, and seeing each other succeed, I think really pushed the momentum. And I'm super excited for what's to come this month, because I do work full time, but I actually get to leave my full-time job at the end of this month. So
Congratulations.
I'm really hoping that like gets everybody really excited.
That's amazing. That's going to inspire so many others that you can or can't work, right? Like
Right.
Kinleigh's choosing still to
And
work.
that's the
She
thing.
loves hair, right?
Right. It's I kind of like how Gabby said she was living comfortably. It's not something that I needed as far as financial, but my husband is a cop, and so his work hours can be demanding and unexpected. And so this gives me the freedom to still bring an income to our family and still provide, but be able to actually be present for when he can't be.
That's a strong why right there, though. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Super exciting. Okay, y'all, I don't want to keep you because I know it's already 7:50. So I know it's already late. So Kinleigh and all her jewels, that was a nice surprise because that wasn't even planned, but thanks for showing up and sharing your stories. That gave us even more perspective. And Kinleigh, it just shows your leadership and how amazing you are. And I just want to thank you for your time tonight too, for jumping on and sharing so much wisdom. I'm so inspired and ready to just kick off 2025. So thank you so much for everything.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that was such a little unexpected treat. I
I
love my
know, it's
girls.
such a treat.
So
So thanks, y'all. We
thank
weren't
you
even
so
planning
much.
that. All right, y'all have a good night. Thank you.
Good night.